Greetings. Hello. You have your ticket? Oh, you don't? No problem, guys. Just hit the subscription button below and come on in. Hey, guys, I thought I'd show you a little waterfall from probably one of the favorite places that I visit when I'm down in the Big Easy, New Orleans. But that's not the purpose of the video. What I wanted to talk to you guys is about a couple of observations that I made just recently. And these observations are regarding the state of emergency. First of all, that Donald Trump declared, I guess a couple of weeks ago, in relationship to the border wall. And then a video that I listened to, and this video is by a guy, I think he calls himself Drove, D-R-O-V. And he talks about this the end game. And it's interesting in his video where, he's got Donald Trump making, all types of very, very complimentary comments about, Hillary Clinton, and that she's a great person, her husband, he's a great person. And about he invited them to I think it was Melania's wedding, and how they came. And then she was there talking about, she loves going to Donald Trump's weddings because it's always, something special, I guess something unexpected. But that being said, I have to, I don't want to conflate things, but I have to put these things together in regards to the same Donald Trump who called Bill Clinton a rapist, the same Donald Trump who said that Hillary Clinton was a criminal and that she needed to go to jail. So I have to ask myself the question, what kind of razzle-dazzle is going on here? Which Donald Trump should, we be expected to believe? I think all of us would have to agree if we had friends or close associates, employees, or if our employer was talking to us like that, we would not only cry, injustice, we would be taking some type of, action towards, having that type of behavior addressed. Would you all agree with that? I think the answer would be yes. And here is the part that really, I guess, the straw that breaks the camel's back for me. Donald Trump, I'm going to say probably 4 or 5 days ago, and talking about, the border wall and the actions that he would take as far as bringing, some of the military to the wall, in order to defend the border wall. But in that statement, and I'm sure many of you guys heard it, if you haven't, go back and look it up, Donald Trump's statements in regards to the state of emergency in the border wall. Donald Trump clearly states that not only will United States military be there on that wall protecting the water, but he will be using NATO forces. NATO forces. See, that's the part here that I'm not certain we all are hearing correctly. Why are native forces in the United States of America? What's their purpose here? I know they're normally invited for military exercises and things of that nature. But when have you heard of them policing inside of the United States? I mean, we are a sovereign country. I realize that we have bases in 800 bases in over 300 countries around the world, but this is not that conversation. My question that I present to each and every one of you, to all of the listeners, when has it been okay for NATO forces to come into the United States and police in the United States? Now, granted, some will say, well, he's here or they're there to protect the border, but that's still policing in the United States. And doesn't that also, if Donald Trump has the power to empower NATO forces to protect the border, wouldn't he have the same power to empower NATO forces to police you and I in the cities of the United States if he chose to do so? So when you think in terms of how much support should a president of the United States have, I think you should also challenge yourself to be thinking critically. And what I mean by critically is independently. You should be thinking in terms of, wait a minute, how does this line up with the Constitution of the United States? And I'm a pro-constitutionalist. That's why you hear me talk about the Second Amendment, so often. You're talking about the right to bear arms. And you also hear me talking about the First Amendment, freedom of the press, freedom to protest, freedom of religion, etc. And what I'm saying to each and every one of you guys, I think our Constitution is being violated right in front of our faces. But because of all the razzle dazzle, the back and forth that goes on with Donald Trump, I think that we are being intentionally misled and blindsided. And I think that's a real issue. And again, as you know, it comes down to politics. I don't give a rat's ass, and I don't like rats, and I don't like rats. I'm about to say the other one. I don't like rats. So when I say I don't give a rat's ass, it's like the lowest part of not caring about a particular thing. I don't concern myself, with Democrat, Republican. I see them as both, as they say, two tits on the same bull, or two horns on the same bull, two tits on the same cow. For me, it's about protecting the sovereignty of the citizenry of this country. And I think it's about time for us to wake up and start asking some serious questions. Because if we don't, then the same troops that we're using to keep people out of the country could be the same troops, including the NATO troops, that could be keeping us under martial law, under strict government oppression, and at some point, create an environment where we're all inside of a prison state. Now, again, I know sometimes these things come across as, okay, it's scare tactics. Well, just like I don't give a crap about, politics or politicians. Like, I care about their politics because their politics affect me and all of us. But I don't give a shit about scare tactics because, I don't live in fear. You know what I'm saying? I have enough sense to be cautious. I understand danger. I understand, again, to watch myself. But in terms of pushing fear, living in fear, bullshit. I got one life to live, and I'd be damned if I'm going to live it afraid to live. And you should feel the same way about your life and protect it. But we're talking freedoms here. And I think that we're all getting okey-doked. And you forever Trumpers, I'm telling you the same thing. You guys, I hope you're listening to what this guy's saying very carefully, because I guarantee you, when the wall comes tumbling down, to use that figure of speech, it's going to fall on your head too. Okay? It's just my one man's opinion based off of one man's observation. But I tell you one thing, validate. As I always say to you many, many times, go check for yourself. All right? Thanks, guys, for listening. This is serious. NATO troops should not be policing the United States of America. That should absolutely not be happening. And yet it is. Okay? So keep watchful and use that third eye. DFG, get in flight. Talk to you guys soon. Bye now.